It's a scene where Uma Thurman as Mia Wallace interviews John Travolta as Vincent Vega. It's when John has just come to her house and to pick her up and take her on the date to Jackrabbit Slim's, and she comes down, and before you actually get a chance to really look at her, you just, she comes down with a high-8 camera, she's pointing it at John, and she just kind of interviews him. You get the impression, possibly, that maybe she does this all the time whenever Marcella sends a goon to take her out to dinner and stuff. She always kind of comes down there and kind of blows the guy's mind. But with John, it doesn't quite work because he's actually kind of into it a little bit. Now, the thing is, this scene actually has a very checkered past because I'd actually written this scene about like 5 years ago or so. It was because I'd been like working on the basic idea for the Vincent Vega and Marcellus Wallace's wife for a very long time without ever having finished it. So this scene had existed for a while. So we shot it in the movie and everything, and the reason we took it out was basically because by the time that we actually got around to making it was becoming this cliche that all these movies made in the 90s were having all these young characters pointing high-8 cameras at each other and doing these big confessional interviews straight to the cameras, becoming this big, every 4 out of every 5 movies had a scene like that. So it was quickly becoming a cliche. So I took it out for that. And the other reason I took it out was because I personally don't think this scene's that great. You know, I mean, to me, it sounds more like someone trying to write like me than me, with all the little references in there. I still like the idea of you're either an Elvis man or a Beatles man. You know, you can like Elvis, but you can like the Beatles, but no one likes them both equally. At some point, you have to decide which one you like more, and that tells you who you are. I've always believed in that, all right? So that's the one aspect of the scene that I still like. But anyway, here's the scene. And special note to Miss Thurman is the fact that she actually handled the high-8 during the video scene. So that she's a camera person. Also, one other thing very interesting is we did a test, you know, to transfer the high-8 to film, see what it looked like. And we did many different tests. We had it widescreen to 235. We blew up the high-8 to the CinemaScope. And then we had 185, and then we had it just the normal video borders with just black background, black on both sides, to see how the height looked. And I gotta tell you, it looked pretty good. It looked like bad 16 millimeters. So basically what I'm saying is if you have never made a film before and you want to make a film, shoot it on high-8 and transfer it to film, all right? Because that's what I would do if I had never made a film before. Here's the scene. Bye.
Smile, you're on Mia's camera.
Ready to go?
No, not yet. Do you ever see Barbara Walters interview the movie stars?
Once or twice.
Well, that's what this is. Pretend I'm Barbara Walters, and I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions.
About what?
Oh, life, the world, yourself, whatever I might find interesting.
I don't like answering questions.
Oh, but that's not your problem. That's my problem. I'm the interviewer. I have to make you feel comfortable so you'll open up and reveal things you normally wouldn't. Okay, I'll ask you an easy one first. What's your name?
Vincent Vega.
Any relation to Suzanne Vega?
Suzanne Vega's my cousin.
Suzanne Vega, the folk singer, is your cousin?
Suzanne Vega's my cousin. If she's become a folk singer, I sure as hell don't know nothing about it.
Well, now I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions I've come up with that more or less tell me what kind of person I'm having dinner with. My theory is that when it comes to important subjects, there's only 2 ways a person can answer. Which way they choose tells you who that person is. For instance, there's only 2 kinds of people in the world: Beatles people and Elvis people. Now, Beatles people can like Elvis, and Elvis people can like Beatles, but nobody likes them both equally. Somewhere, you have to make a choice, and that choice tells you who you are. Well, now, I'm obviously not gonna ask you that one, because you're definitely an Elvis man, but you're hip to where I'm coming from. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
I knew that you could. Okay, first question. Brady Bunch or the Partridge Family?
Partridge Family.
On Rich Man, Poor Man, who did you like more, Peter Strauss or Nick Nolte?
Nick Nolte, of course.
What's your favorite way to say thanks in a foreign language?
Merci beaucoup.
In conversation, do you listen or wait to talk?
I have to admit that I wait to talk, but I'm trying harder to listen.
If you were Archie, who would you fuck first, Betty or Veronica?
Betty.
Cut. Print. Let's go eat.